People often ask why do we have to do breeding soundness exams, and these yearling bulls are going to be sold, so we need to do a breeding soundness exam to make sure that they are sound to be able to breed heifers and cows. So there's a lot of factors in that. One of the biggest factors we're doing today is we're actually collecting semen from them, and we do motility, so we make sure it's alive and moving forward, the semen. And then we do a stain slide where we check morphology, and what that means is the cell structure is normal. So the motility, they're live and moving forward, so you have live semen going into the cow. And then the morphology would be the cell structure of the semen to make sure it's normal, so it can actually get the cow pregnant, so it would fertilize the egg. Okay. Why do we need to do that on older bulls? Older bulls can have issues. I had one bull in here today that was a young bull that had an infection. Older bulls are more prone to that. It was actually his seminal vesicle was infected, so you can have infections, you can have injuries. So when we do a breeding soundness exam, we check and make sure the penis is normal. We measure the scrotum to make sure that it's the appropriate size. Has to be on these bulls 30 centimeters or bigger. We check their soundness, their structure. They're going to be able to go out and breed cows in a pasture on a hillside and stay sound. Their body condition, their health is all important to that. But the big factor that we can't judge is libido, or the ability to go out and breed. They want to go out and breed these cows. That's something that you need to check at home to make sure the bull's following cows and wanting to breed cows. Today we did several young bulls, and you're going to have more problems with young bulls with semen maturity. So we really have to check those slides good for that. And an older bull, he can get sick throughout the year and semen can die. And so you wouldn't have any live semen. He could have abnormalities from being sick with the semen. That he won't get cows pregnant, and obviously they're half of our breeding equation, and if the bull's no good, and I've seen some nightmare cases where older bulls went bad during breeding season or before breeding season, they didn't know it, and then they have a bunch of open cows, and that's what we're trying to avoid. We do not want open cows to affect our cash flow. So I always say this is probably the most important thing you can do on your farm, for somebody to come check your bulls, a veterinarian to come check your bulls, because if your bull's no good, preg checking won't be a very good day. So make sure that you check the bulls, because the bulls are extremely important to your breeding equation.